This is not going to be anything official, more or less. It's just, I'm ranting, I guess. It's 3 a.m. and I get the call in about, about 5 hours. I have a tort claim in with the VA that is, I requested $25,000 for this nose permanent disfigurement, which you can see the hole there. Kind of curious to see what they are going to offer, but if it's not a satisfactory amount, which to me will be almost anything. I mean, if they offer $5,000 or $10,000, I'll take it. I asked for 25, so I thought it was fair. To actually get the redo is anywhere from about 3,500 to around 7,000. So I considered that, and then just compensation for pain and suffering and disfigurement. So we're going to see what they say, and because a decision should have been made on December 20th. So it's a month. It's been 7 months, and they say 6 months, and they haven't even contacted me. You know, and it's just stuff eats at me, man, and I don't understand that. You know, here's a veteran files a claim with the VA for damaging his face. You'd think that someone could pick up the phone and say, hey, a decision has been made. Man, VA, boy, I'll tell you what. Office of Inspector General, oh boy, you need to get on the ball. I mean, you really need to get on the ball, because your systems are messed up. You call yourself an Inspector General, you need to do a general inspection, sir. Because everything's out of control. And I've tried to say that and show that in a few videos, but I guarantee you, you will be in court to answer as well. Because I think I will take item by item and I'll file a separate multi-million-dollar lawsuit on each item. I think I can do that. And if you knew how many patients' rights violations I suffered, Mr. Head VA guy, President Trump, if you knew, I could probably file 30 individual lawsuits for, let's say, $100 million each. Think I won't? I'm already mad. I'm already mad because I have to look around and see all the stuff going on in the world that nobody's doing anything about. Nobody cares. And I'm nobody special, but from a kid I know shit was wrong. I mentioned a little girl smelling like urine in another. That's a real story. I was in 7th grade. And all these big, so kids would pick on this little girl. Well, you know what? That little girl's house didn't have electricity. So no hot water to wash clothes, to bathe. Maybe couldn't afford soap. So it's no wonder she smelled like urine. And it's no wonder when I got her to come and talk to me, she was real scared and crying. And that fucking made me mad to see people treat people like that. And that's why I'm mad at the VA, I'm mad at the government, I'm mad at the president for just sitting on their ass. You've got billions of dollars you're sitting on if you just legalize marijuana. It's so stupid. It's unbelievable. And you know what? I'm not the only person that feels like that. I guarantee you, if you put it to a federal vote, which you should, like each state does, let the people vote. Oh, they can vote you into office, but they can't vote on God's plant being legal, which would save millions of dollars and it would add billions in revenue. It would go billions in each direction. It would save billions, literally, if it was allowed to be used. I guarantee you there are a lot of people that are on opiates, that are alcoholics, that are addicted to prescription drugs, that are having drugs fed into their system by doctors and psychiatrists that don't know shit about human behavior. All they know is that they got this DSM that's got 1 billion diagnoses in it. You could save so much money and you could earn so much money. Look at Canada. $3 billion from R.J. Reynolds went to Canada. Could have gone to West Virginia. A whole lot of people there need work. A whole lot of people in this country need work. The rich motherfuckers, they got a job. And they're the ones that won't give a job to a poor person, a black person, a Mexican person. Yeah, so I'm going to get mad. But I do, man. I get mad. And, because I just don't feel like I can do anything about it, man. You know, I don't know how many, I've been putting poems into All Poetry. And they're just silly, outrageous. I'm just writing for people are going, oh, that's deep. That's deep meaning. No, it's not. A bunch of gibberish. People are just so stupid. Yeah, I am too. I'm stupid to be begging you to care. I'm stupid to ask you to give about your neighbor. About people that hurt, about people sleeping under bridges, about veterans being poisoned by drugs by the VA. Lifetime. I was on antidepressants for 14 years. And it didn't do me a bit of good. And since I was on parole forever, I did 26 years on a 15-year sentence. It's on record. The state of Texas has got perverted laws. You get out of the state of Texas, if you have one of these offenses, and it's a list as long as you're... if you have one of these offenses, if you get out and you have 10 years on parole, if you do 9 years and 11 months and 29 days and you fuck up all of that time, we're taking back and you're going to prison. That's double sentence. That's a double sentence. That's double jeopardy. And it has been challenged in court, and guess what? They acquiesced. Well, we'll have a midpoint law. In other words, if you have 10 years, if you make it to 5, without us violating you for smoking marijuana, or drinking a few beers, or going to a bar, or getting on the internet. Oh yes, look at parole rules. If you're on the internet, let's say you're a sex offender, they want to know every alias you use, they want to know all your usernames, they want to know all your passwords, they want to know everything about you. It's got nothing to do with anything else you're doing. A guy that has an inappropriate relationship, let's just give an example that makes sense. Say the guy's 19 and the girl's 17. Or no, make her 16. I think there's a 2-year thing there. Let's say a guy 20, a girl 17. They've known each other since childhood, and they fall in love, and they're carrying on, they have sex, and somehow he gets told he's a sex offender. And all sex offenders are predators, aren't they? No, 10% of sex offenses against children are by strangers. 90% are by people that child knows. And 60% of that 90% are family members. Check it. Department of Justice statistics. Media wants you to believe elsewhere. Media says a little girl was kidnapped up in Bangor, Maine, and tortured and all that, and you'll hear about it for days. We're live on the scene. They're going to catch the perpetrator. And all the while, there's the kids and everybody, because they've been told, live at 5. We've got the perpetrator up there. Fear, 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 lies, 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 fear, fear, lies. Satan. Say it for what it is. And you want to believe Satan? Do that. Do that and see where that leads you. I have said some things about Google and about YouTube that I want to clarify. There is nothing wrong with either of those. Social media, internet, there's nothing wrong with those. It's their filtration and censorship. We're so big on freedom of speech, but don't say the N-word. Why not? Black people do it all the time. Yo, nigga, what up, fool? What up, nigga? But if a white person says nigger, didn't that hurt? Didn't that hurt? Why? I got freedom of speech. I could say that word 1,000 times. I don't, and I regret having said it right then, but I just wanted to make a point to you. That censorship is sometimes needed. But the government will say, well, no, we can just come in your house. Homeland Security, there's terrorists way overseas, but we're coming in your house when we want to. And if you got a little marijuana, we're going to take everything you own. When you don't owe anything to anybody for using a plant God put here. Oh, but the government, we need more of that. And guess where a lot of that dope goes? It's in those evidence rooms. It goes out back to drug dealers with law enforcement selling it back to them. Hey, you cops know what I'm talking about. Am I lying? Of course you say I will. I am. But I'm not. Google, the main issue that I speak against as far as Google goes is the fact that they give too much access. Now, they have filters, okay, but who uses filters unless you know your child's going to use that device? And they have a very good system in place for that. I set up a child's account just so I could check it, and let me tell you what, you go through a lot of things just to get that set up. But when little 4-year-old Susie walks in the room, Daddy's looking at porn. Or Daddy goes to the bathroom, little sissy comes in, there's porn playing. There's raw sex activity by a 4-year-old watching. There's a 4-year-old watching porn. Google. It shouldn't even be. What it needs, I think, is Google needs to divide up. I mean, after all, the church is divided. The last institution on this planet that should have divided into denominations. Denominations are what? They're divisions. Paul said, let there be no divisions among you. Let you be of one mind, one spirit, one body. What happened? Google should separate things. All sex things should be Google XX Extra. Okay? And you will not get into that site, that area, unless you're 18. I like it. It says, you go to a porn site. I had a porn addiction years ago. But, and I also did research when I was doing my sex offense media reporting crap video. You can go, it'll say confirm your age, 18. Bang, you hit it, you're 18. Someone want a credit card. Oh, there's Daddy's credit card, blah, blah, blah. They don't know you're 18. They want you on that site. Google wants you on that site because those sites, websites, pay a lot of money to Google. And they get a lot of advertisers. Go on any site. Look at all the pop-ups. Guess who's making money? Guess who's paying Google? Guess who loves money? Google. Google owns YouTube. YouTube puts little girls in their panties, sometimes so tight you can see the slit of their vagina. 4, 5, 6, 7-year-old girls doing nothing but dancing around. And I won't linger on that. I'll just point out one video. I did research it's on one of my other channels. But it's called Child Sex Offenses, Media Reporting, Statistics, and U.S. Society's Love of Violence. It was a well-researched video. It didn't even get it got more videos than any of them because the first search word was child sex offenses. Put child and sex together and watch how many searches you get. YouTube. And look what you got on there that's accessible to children. You also need to divide. All sex-related things need to be put in a separate search thing, just separate from the general public. You go into a library. If you want certain books, you got to search for them. You go on Google, there it is. There are pop-ups coming everywhere. There's a girl dancing musically, and she's shaking her butt, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. There's actually, well, I'm not going to say that. There is something wrong with content that you can access. But anyway, the one video that really got my attention, a couple of them did, but one of them was, it showed a little girl with her legs spread open, and her panties, her crotch. She was probably 8 or 10. You really couldn't tell because, anyway, so I'm looking for samples to give. I thought, okay, that's a clean one. There's no nudity, but it's still sexually provocative. I ran that whole video. It was like 3 minutes long. I didn't see it. I ran it again. Wait a minute. This girl was on her bed and she was moving, so her legs came open. Somebody at YouTube picked that image, because they picked mine. In my 500 and some videos, I've never picked a thumbnail image. They picked that. One little frame of a girl with her legs open. The whole rest of the video is benign. It's fun. It's a little girl playing. And I'm not saying there's anything against that, but parents, dress your children. Can you think you could do that? Would you let your little girl walk out in her underwear down the street in your own neighborhood, in front of your own neighbors? I don't think so. Why put her in her underwear for the whole world to masturbate to if they want to? That's pretty evil. That's very evil. That's deep, dark evil. And Google, YouTube, I'm just saying you should do something about it before it catches up with you. If you follow me. All you have to do, man, is separate it. Just separate it. How hard is that? The advertisers are going to come because the perverts are going to come. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with sex. Don't go there. I'm not talking religion here. I am a Christian, so it does come up. But I'm not going to tell someone to not watch porn. If they're a Christian, I would tell them, hey, man, you need to watch out. But I'm still not going to tell them, do not watch porn. I'll let a preacher do that if he wants to. I'm not a preacher. I'll sit him down and say, hey, man, I used to have a porn problem, dude. Look, it's hard to get out of it. Just start getting away from it. Try not to watch it. If you got to throw your damn cell phone away to do it, whatever. So what I'm saying, there's nothing wrong with sex. It's letting children access it so easily, and it's letting little girls dance around in their underwear for no reason. They call them things like, oh, they got tons of them. They want to make them look innocent. Parents are real bad about that. And there's let me just say one that, as I was researching, she kept coming up. And she's actually good. She's clean, and her mother and their parents are obviously very concerned about her. And that's Hunter. Hunter in the gym. I don't know if anybody knows her real name, but she's real cool, she's sweet, and she's doing what she is supposed to do. She's a gymnast, and she's just sharing with amateur gymnasts how to get into gymnastics. And the mother's always there, supervising. Brother's there. Brother would probably kick your ass if you got near little Hunter. I think his name's Scott, something like that. Anyway, my point being that there are good, clean videos of girls in leotards, gymnastic leotards. I'm not even going there. But there are those of girls in super tight, butt cheek, butt cloth up the butt crack, doing nothing. Why, YouTube? Why, Google? Why do you put those little girls? Don't you have enough money? I haven't looked at what the net worth of Google is, but I imagine it's well into the billions, probably hundreds of billions. Don't you have enough fucking money? And to put little girls out there in their underwear. And I can go on the dark net if I wanted to. And I started to, but I said no. I did it one time. You can go on the dark net and you can find sex. You can have children having sex, animals, you name it. Why? Why would you give access to people that let the darknet be the darknet? Maybe the darknet is Google. Maybe Google owns all that DuckDuckGo and all that crap. That's probably true. Google's God to a lot of people. A kid won't. Nobody does anything without Google. No, Google it. Google it. Google it. Google is running the show, and Google is feeding you garbage, and Google is sexually exploiting your children, our community, our people, by forcing evil on us, forcing darkness on us. Yes, we can click delete, but how many people do? How many people can't wait to tune in for all the gory details? How many people get in long lines at the latest horror film with their little children? Oh, they can come in the movie if they're with a parent. Well, you know what that does? That tells that child that parent approves of that. So you take them into a movie of zombies, and no, I'm not saying anything's wrong with that. Entertainment, creativity's creativity. Artists have license to do whatever they want within whatever the community standards are and the federal guidelines. What I'm saying is that why take a child to see something like that? Why? What good are you doing that child? To sit there and eat popcorn and laugh at how gory a film is. And that little child's looking at you and looking at that gore, and you know what you're teaching that child? Go figure it out. Because when that child rapes, murders, maims, kills, gets dysfunctional, drinks, when their life goes to shit, and not all of them do, but I guarantee you there are some that go to shit because you didn't parent them well. Matter of fact, there's probably parents that have their little girl in underwear on YouTube and Google, and they're all proving it, and they take their little kid to gore her. Man, what a mixed up kid. It's no wonder that most of the world doesn't even believe in God. They don't. It's easy to believe a lie. It's easier not to believe. It's easy. You think there's no consequences, but you better think again. You can meander and roll your eyes all you want to. There is a God. Ask any faith that proclaims, and I'm talking about Islam and all those faiths, that there's a similar God. And it stems from Abraham and Isaac and Ishmael. But my point is, stop abusing your children. Google, stop abusing children. Why? I mean, you have a registry for sex offenders. Oh boy, I don't even want to get into that. There was a guy in Oregon murdered in his home by vigilantes who misread that registry. It's a true story. Google it. Google it. Google knows everything, but they don't know anything about decency. But this guy answers his door, and there's people with a gun in his face. Maybe his children and wife were there, because no one knows who's at the door, and they're looking, and he gets murdered. You know why? Because they did not update their registry. A sex offender did used to live there. And these vigilantes thinking they're going to, it's weird. We're going to take every problem. Well, you created a pretty big one. I'd say murder is a pretty big problem, especially if it's a father and a husband and a son. I'm sorry. I started this out a little pleasant. I'll get back to that. I'll say okay. I'm gonna shut this off, but I'm gonna call and try to set it up where I can record it. I want to record it, but my laptop, oh boy, it won't do anything now. Keyboard doesn't work. I can't go into my webcam won't come on. Nothing's just everything's screwed up, man. And guess what? I can't even take it back. Cash America. But I'm gonna try. I'm going to walk in there and say, look, I've researched the law. I can demand a cash refund. But if you'll just exchange it, I'll be happy. And I mean that. And if they won't exchange it, I'll file a lawsuit on them. I don't care if I lose it. I'm going to have plenty of money. I'm going to have plenty of money. Mark my words. The federal government is going to pay this little West Virginia hillbilly. And this West Virginia hillbilly is going to take that money home to West Virginia and use it the way the government doesn't seem to know how to use it. And that is to feed people that are hungry. Give them clothes, a place to sleep, instead of building bombs that we can blow the fucking planet up with. And we won't regulate different industry to quit polluting because they're paying a lot of tax dollars that we misappropriate. Whew. Anyway, my claim is $25,000. If they'll give me a fair offer, I'll take it. By fair, I mean if they give me $10,000, I'll take it. And I think that's fair. Look at this, it's a hole, man. It's a hole in my nose. And the pain and suffering, my goodness, you would not believe these interns. It's interns. There's nothing about the VA. Why in the hell do you have interns working on patients? We're not guinea pigs. We're not guinea pigs. Why do you let these... Now, minor procedures, sure. And you might have considered this a minor. Look how minor that procedure is. Look how minor that procedure is. Look how minor that procedure is. And you know, I have all video evidence. I'm a YouTuber, you know, and I shot a video like 10 minutes after I came out of surgery. I got the bandage on. I'm smoking a cigarette. Hey, what's going on, yo? So I've got video evidence, images. I have it all on, or had it. And since they didn't ask for it, I can get it again. They never asked for it. Never even asked for any evidence. I imagine they take 6 months because they're sitting on their ass and they probably have, okay, this happened, one finger missing, okay, so many dollars. Instead of actually looking at a case, example, mine, I'm a YouTuber, my face is in the camera all the time, you think that didn't affect me? You're damn right it affected me. It used to, now it doesn't. I don't care what people think I look like. And really don't care if you listen to what I say. Because there's going to come a time when you will listen, not to me. You're going to answer to someone else. Every idle word you have ever spoken, you will be accountable for. Alright guys, I'll come back with another video. Unless I'm on down the road. I'm already, y'all don't know where I'm at. I've been gone from my residence for a long time. Because I know I was already getting some bad messages from certain groups that I've talked about, and so I know I'll probably have to move on. And probably pretty much of what I told you about where I'm going is a lie, but you don't know that.